Hello and happy 2018. Today I'm going to be working on a mission inspiration from the Mission Inspiration Facebook group by Mike Deacon. Every month they have a prompt card, so I thought this is a great way to start out the year with a journal mission inspiration. So this month the tasks are to glue a square rectangle piece of card or paper, then add white or tinted gesso. We're going to make marks with a brush or comb. We're going to add blocks of handwritten journaling. Then we're going to draw through a stencil in black or white. Add a focal image or images. Add shredded book or music text. Then add typography, a quote or phrase. And our words of inspiration this month are Genesis, renew, resolve, wish, or memories. And the suggested color scheme is aqua, olive, and blush. So you just follow the steps in order and you can choose to or not to use the colors. So this month I'm going to be going with wish and trying to incorporate all three colors. So first step is glue the square rectangle pieces of card or paper. And I have here some pre-cut scrapbook paper that fits the color scheme. I've got some of the olive green and I've got some of the blush color. So I'm going to go ahead and just start gluing these down, and I'm going to use my Liquitex matte gel medium. And since this is me just gluing paper, I'll go ahead and I'll just fast forward this section, and when it's all dry, I'll be back. Okay, that is just about dry now. I wanted to make sure it wasn't too damp because the next step is to add white gesso over it, and I didn't want this still too wet that it would pull. You may notice I kind of kept my pieces to the outside because I do know I'm going to be having a focal image that will take up most of the middle. So I kind of planned ahead, and to add some dimension I did try to stack a few of these just to give it a little extra texture. So now we're going to do step 2, which is to add white or tinted gesso. So I did go ahead and I took my Galleria white gesso and I added just a little bit of this craft paint in a lush foliage, kind of an olive color, just to give it a little wash, and we will see how that looks. I have it here. And I do want to add a little water because I want it to be more of a wash than too thick. So we'll see how this turns out. We're just going to cover the page. And this olive is one of the recommended colors for the month. So hopefully as it dries, some of that floral will still peek through. But we're experimenting, which is what it's all about. And I may end up having to mix some more. Let's see. I always find this so relaxing. Sometimes when I'm stressed, I just start tearing up paper and gluing it into journal pages for later on. It just calms me. Don't know what it is. So tonight, unlike some of my other videos, we shouldn't have any guest visitors because I managed to sneak into the studio without the four-legged children knowing. So the cats are not yelling at the door yet. So hopefully we'll get through this little exercise without them trying to jump on the table this time. Alright, that is just about covered. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give that a quick dry. And with the crafty paint, it doesn't take much. It usually dries pretty quick. I do want some of those flowers to come back a little. So I am going to try to just take a baby wipe and see if I can bring back a little of that floral. There we go. I just want a little bit of that to poke through. Oop, pardon the shaking. I am working this year on getting a tripod so my stand will be on the floor so you guys don't get motion sickness while I'm filming. And I spoke too soon. I hear one of the kids outside the door. That would be Holly. She's wondering where Mommy is. I kind of like that wiped up like that. See, playing in the journals with these mission inspirations, what I love about them is that you're trying something you may not have tried before, and you get to just experiment. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But at least, you know, you got to try it. Okay, now, so that was the olive color. The other color, blush and aqua. I do know that my focal image, which will be this girl, is going to have a lot of blush in her. So I want to go ahead and I think I'm going to add a little bit of blush in as well. And maybe just try to do a little bit of dust and dry brushing with it. Find a dry brush. Just add it a little. Just I brush a bit. I have no idea how this is going to be in the end, but I appreciate coming along for the adventure. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Alright, so step 1, we've got our squares glued down. Step 2, we added the tinted gesso. Oh, step 3 was make marks with a brush or comb. So, looks like I went ahead and did step 3 without even realizing it. The inspiration, I just got carried away. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a quick dry. Let me scoop these out of the way. Put some water. Make sure it's dry. Now I really want to make sure this paint is good and dry and that all the glue is dry for this next part because it's to add blocks of handwritten journaling. And since I'm going to be using one of my good Pilot multi-ball pens, now these pens come from Japan, and when I was finding them on Amazon, it was taking like 6 to 8 weeks to get one. I love them for journaling. They're permanent. They work wonderful. They come in a medium and a narrow. I was watching Julie Faith Balzer one day on one of her vlogs and discovered jetpens.com. I got these within 2 days from them. So if you're looking for a good journaling black pen, I recommend the Pilot Multiball, and you can get it on jetpens.com. I'll be sure to put a link on the screen for you. Okay, so now it's time to do some journaling. And since mine is going to be about wishes, I'm going to go ahead, and these are just some inspiration cards I made with some of my favorite quotes. I'm going to pick one or two and just add them on here. I think I'm going to leave those ones blank. Okay. Now, let's see what's next. We added the blocks of handwritten journaling, so now it's time to draw through a stencil in black or white. So I am going to draw through the stencil in black, and I actually just made this stencil. And since it's about wishes, and my girl looks like she's daydreaming, I thought it would be perfect. I just made this stencil with its 3 different types of stars. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick some stars and start tracing through them and add them to the journal page. And I will be selling this stencil in my Etsy store. I plan to start a line of stencils, but if you like this star stencil, you can go ahead and just shoot me an email through my website, sidestreetdesign.com. And I'm more than happy to answer any emails and any questions anytime. So let's just add. I'm really not liking this green anymore, so I'm hoping when we put everything else on it kind of goes away, but you don't know until you try. I call this stencil Field of Stars. I always like stars. Some there. We need some over here. I'm not sure if you can still hear Holly in the background. I'll let her in as soon as we're all done here. Holly is my talker cat. She loves to just go on and on and on. She'll let you know what's on her mind, so. I've actually just spent the start of this year, starting in December, I totally tore my studio apart that I'm in now. I purged, I'm getting ready for a huge yard sale. I bought brand new bookcases, so I haven't done any videos because I've been busy getting myself reorganized and ready for the new year, and I am finally just about there, so I was super excited to be able to get in here tonight, and I can find everything I need easily, and if you are a crafter, you know what that is like. You end up with 6 pails of string because you thought you had it, you can't find it, and then you find it later. So hopefully this organization will stick this year, and I'll get to make more videos for you guys. Okay, almost done here. I'm just 1, 2, 3, 4. I like odd numbers, so maybe just some right here. And I'm hoping my volume is a little better on the video this time for you guys than my previous ones. I did just get a new microphone I'm testing out. So, fingers crossed. You guys will be able to hear me a lot better, and I won't be far and echoey. Because that never is fun. Okay. Alright. We drew through a stencil in black or white, and I've got my stars now. Now it says to add the focal image. So this is my girl. And let's see, what do I want to put her down with? I think I'm going to use some Mod Podge on her. Excuse me, not Mod Podge, more of the Liquitex Matte Gel Medium. And I'm going to keep this out because I think the next few steps require more collaging. Okay. So let's get her positioned. Even though she's covering some things, I'm okay with that. She is going to wrinkle a bit because she is from a magazine. I actually just spent time going through a whole stack of magazines I had. Every now and then I'll subscribe to fashion magazines for like a year, and I'll plan to read them. I end up, of course, not reading them. But I always love the images, so I spent a whole day the other day just sitting and pulling out images for future journals just because they're fun to have. And I also am making a Smashbook for inspiration. So when I'm not sure what I want to do, I have something I can turn to, but I'll do a separate video on that and you can see what that's all about. Okay, so we got our girl down for now. Let me get this dried a bit. Alright, now we are to add shredded book music text. So it's to the matte gel medium again. Now I tend to go through this matte gel medium a lot, and for me, I love getting the 946 milliliter one, but I can only find it on dickblick.com. I try to find it locally at my Michaels and Hobby Lobby, and they only have the small ones that wouldn't last me long, so I get mine online a lot of the times, and I'm actually due for a new one. Okay, so it's time to add some shredded bits, and this is I've fallen in love with this, the Tim Holtz Ideology. I think it's, yep, excuse me, the Tim Holtz Ideology line. This is his tissue wrap, and I know Creativation's going on right now, and he's coming out with a bunch of new ones, and I'm super excited for those too. But whenever something calls for just some shredded book or music text, I love this now. I use this all the time. So I just tore up a few pieces, and we'll just kind of add those on to kind of blend her in more. And I love that once you wet it, it's almost transparent, so then the colors that you had behind show through. This piece, it just happened I had this in my stash, and it talked about travel, which I think is perfect for this piece on wishing. Because what can you wish for? One of the things is to travel more, see new things, meet new people, have new experiences. Okay. I like how this one tore. Nope, don't like that there. That black piece was just a bit too much. Okay, try this over here. Yeah, that works. And we need one more bit of copy text, so maybe we'll just Fill that in down there. Okay. Looking good. It's getting there. All right. Now, before I add the final piece, which is typography, and I have a chip from the Tim Holtz line, I'm going to give this a dry, and I want to add just a few little embellishments. I'll go ahead and dry this. Now I realized I haven't added the aqua in yet, so I think what I want to do to kind of tie this together is I'm going to add some splatter, because I love splatter. I'm going to cover her and add some teal and pink and green splatter. I'm just looking for my little holder. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put the paint on here and I'll put some water on it. I'm going to run my fan brush through it, and then you'll see me doing the fan brush part. And I'll just use this to help cover her a bit. I'm still working on learning my splattering techniques, so this will help. I watch some other people and they just can tap the brush and flick it and it comes off, but mine never seems to do that for me. I'm sure that'll come in time as I'm learning. It's looking good. This will help tie it all together. Make sure I get plenty of that blue all around. A little bit more. There we go. Now, let me move it just a little bit. Okay. Yep, I'm liking that more and more now. I think some of that green in there, and I'm gonna not do any of the pink because there's already enough pink. Just gonna wash off my brush. And the blue that I used was an aqua from Craft Smart. And the pink color I used was the Coral Blush from Americana. I love to get Americana when it's on sale at Hobby Lobby and they have like the 40% off. I love to stock up that way. Okay. So I'm just taking some of the green and adding some water. Got it on my brush here. Time to protect my girl again. And let's see if I can, ooh, look at that. I got it this time. I was afraid the tapping with the other brush might be a little too loud next to the microphone. Okay. Gently move this. Keep moving that around. add a little at the bottom. The bottom doesn't seem to have much of anything down here. There we go. Okay. The splatter is now down. And I'm okay, a little of that got on her. Kind of brings it all together. Put that to dry. Give it a blast with the heat gun. And I feel like that corner needs a little something, so I'm going to try to get my star stencil back in the same spot almost. Let's see if it was this way. Maybe it was... I'm just going to go ahead and add a few more stars here to kind of help tie this. I'm probably smudging paint underneath here, but that's okay. That's what experimenting's about. Just try to incorporate the stars in a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now the final step is to add typography, a quote or phrase. And for that, I have my Tim Holtz chips, the ideology line. And I found this one, it says, Dreamer of Dreams. And I think, I'm trying to decide where I want that. I think I actually like that. Maybe there. See, there was a reason that corner was empty. It was left empty for this. Now this side is very white, so I think I'm just going to grab archival ink real quick and just dab it on the side. I'm just going to take my sepia. This is the Ranger Archival Sepia. Just get some on the sponge. Just kind of, so it's not quite so white. Look a little aged. There we go. And then I'm just going to take some glue. I have this glue pen. I don't remember where I got this now. I got a 3-pack of these, and they're great. They have 2 different nozzles, but anyway. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add that there. Give it a good push. Anything that swishes out will dry clear. And then the important part is to sign at the bottom. There we go. All done with our mission inspiration. I appreciate you following along, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And if you hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe, you'll get notifications as I send out new videos this year. You can follow me on my website, sidestreetdesign.com. I have a blog, and I do other little videos, I'm sorry, not other little videos, but other posts there of little tutorials that don't show up in my videos. So thanks for stopping in, and Happy New Year!